Hello everybody and welcome back to the anime review show here on the Otaku Crypt. This is the show where I, Joshy T, take a look at what's new and hot in anime right now and give you some first impressions of it. And this week we're covering World Trigger. World Trigger centers on a small town in Japan called Mikado City, which 4 years prior to the start of the show was attacked by mysterious creatures from another dimension. But within days these creatures are brought under control by a mysterious organization known as Border, who claims to have mastered these creatures' technology to use it against them. As previously stated, the story of the show picks up 4 years after the events of this first attack. And these creatures, dubbed neighbors, periodically will come through this trans-dimensional gate and attack the city. But now, Border has established much more of a presence in this city, basically having full control over the city. Now the story of the show centers on Osama, who is a young man in high school who is also a in-training Border agent, and he is introduced to the new transfer student Yuma. Now of course these two characters quickly end up battling the creatures from another dimension, engaging in battle with them within the first episode. But after this battle it is quickly revealed that Yuma is more than just an odd little kid with strange habits. He quickly declares himself to be a neighbor, a human being from the other side of the trans-dimensional gate. And from there we get into more about this world and the characters and more encounters with the creatures believed to be known as neighbors. Now this show is a bit of an enigma, falling in kind of a spot where I don't know whether I want to call it good or bad right now. Going by my typical 3-episode test, I still can't really make a decision about this show, mostly because the show kind of flips on itself really quickly, where we have that introductory monologue describing the world and describing the neighbors, and then we're immediately introduced to Yuma, who just tells us that that's not actually the truth. The creatures are actually things called Trion soldiers, and neighbors are the names for humans who live on the other side of the gate. And while this should be the driving force of the plot and how clearly Border is not telling everyone the truth, to me it just seemed like that was the kind of information that shouldn't be given up so quickly. That seemed more like a mid-show plot twist. But this happens within the first couple episodes. So basically my problems with the show have to do with storytelling, pacing, and the fact that the characters we have so far aren't particularly interesting. Osama just being kind of like a straight-laced guy despite being, you know, a Border agent and a soldier of sorts. He's really kind of plain Jane, and on top of that he's not a very good or strong soldier. And Yuma having all these quirks about not knowing how to really interact in the human world and doing things that he shouldn't do. Of course, he is an insanely strong fighter. However, things about this show I do like. The combat style is really cool. Combat is done with a weapon known as a trigger, hence the title. And when the triggers are activated, they actually initiate a bit of a transformation. But the interesting thing here, the transformation is actually quite minimalist, really just changing the person into a kind of combat uniform with the Border logo and their weapons. Now, the weapons are very different depending on who has them. Osama's is kind of a laser glade, whereas Yuma's trigger is more kind of a full-body combat suit that enhances physical prowess. And I thought it was kind of bold that you're going to have a transformation sequence, but actually have very little physical change happen. So, all in all, the recommendation I'm going to make for World Trigger is to actually have you guys perform my 3-episode test. Watch those first 3 episodes, and if you like it, continue watching it. I don't think this is going to be an amazing series to remember, but I am going to keep watching it just to see where they're going with it. Like I said, they kind of flip the plot and the story on itself really quick and changes kind of all the information we're given at first, and it's proven to be wrong right away. And because of that, I think I'm going to give this show a chance. So that's my review for World Trigger. As always, thank you for watching, and you can like and subscribe to this video if you like the reviews, and go check out some of our other videos, including a brand new episode of Cos Profiles with the super adorable Purblind Cosplay. She gave such a great interview and I had a great time shooting with her, so go check that video out. I am Joshy T, and thank you so much for watching.